Nice to see you again, and I'm Nina, your host of this second live show of 129th Canton Fair of us Chiffon Door. And today we are in our main office building, one of our main office building of our main factory area. So let's see what we are discovering today. And first of all, actually, I want to mention behind me is our Chiffon Door logo. And if we get close, we can see actually that behind the logo, the insulated panel is also one of our products with this kind of wooden pattern, which we saw yesterday as well. So there are some the souvenir gift from some of our cooperating partners for our for our 30 years anniversary in 2018. Some of the traditional handwriting and some other traditional let's say gift from our partnerships. Today, so we have also several choices for us to discover. My left side there's a hidden door, and behind it we will see our preparation line where we usually do the embossing over there. Yesterday we saw some of our panels already with the embossing of a wood grain or orange skin. There we will find the preparation line which does this kind of preparation for the raw material. And as well we will see the stock warehouse over there for all the raw material that's used for different type of our garage and industry. And on my right hand over here, there's another bigger door. Behind it, we will have a different type of the showroom where we can discover some of the garage door panels and one garage door example of their installed and some of the accessories as well. So by this door, we might be able to discover more details about our garage door. So let's take this choice to the, let's say, to Maggie again. Let's see, Maggie, what we are choosing today, where we are going.
This way.
Okay, this way. So probably we are going to see more details of our garage door today. Let's get inside and see what we are going to discover. We have already seen one of the garage door have already installed over here. Let me close the door over here just because we are doing some construction recently for a new office building, so the noise outside is a little bit big. Okay. So behind me over here is one of the garage door which is installed with the, let's say, finger protection panel with a wooden color. And this is the one-line design with a flat surface without any kind of embossing. About this kind of the designs, the colors and different types of panels, as we talked about yesterday, we will talk into the details later when we see the examples and you can see the structure of our original panels and what kind of material we are talking about exactly. Then we open the door over here and you guys can see how it's operating usually with this one is automatic one which with the motor as well with opener. And of course, some of our customers, they require it as a manual one. It is also available. So usually our regular design with the torsion spring and with the let's say double track and the panels as the finger protection style, it would look like this and it would operate like just enough. But we do have all different types of the operation setting, and we do have all different type of the, let's say, the accessories setting, and it would have different types of operation as well. So you can always talk to us, tell us what is the structure in your place, and it's mostly regarding to the headroom you have for your opening place, and we can decide what kind of the structure setting is more suitable for your place. And I'll talk about the details later with all the different, let's say, panels and accessories later on. So first of all, yesterday we mentioned about we have the finger protection style of the panel, and we have the American style non-finger protection one, and we do have our industrial one, which is a little bit different from the other two. So firstly, let's talk a little bit about the structure of those ones, what's the difference, and what we usually do use them for, different kind of environment. Let me put this on. So, yesterday we are talking about the PU forming, how we make our garage door panels and how we identify what is a material and extra. So if we get close to see the panels as its cut part, this is exactly it would look like the surface of the panel, of course, is the steel, and I'll talk about the detail about the steel as well. And of course it has front side, back side, where we saw the production earlier, and inside it, this is the PU forming. So as yesterday we have already mentioned, our door material on the surface is the galvanized steel, which usually we use 0.3 to 6 milliliter as the surface thickness, and the backside as well. And for the PU forming, we use the material from Dow company, which is a high quality and a stable one, throughout all the this field. And of course, if let's say as the surface of this panel, for example, the front side is flat without embossing, then we will recommend you to use 0.45 milliliter of the surface thickness. Why is like that? Because as the back side, you see we have the wood grain embossing over here. But if the front side we don't do any of the embossing, like yesterday we have already mentioned, then the surface might see waves if the panel is long and big. But with the small one, of course, we don't see any over here. But with the long panel, we would recommend you to use the thickness of 0.45 as the surface material. And these are two regular ones for our regular panel raw materials. And this is the panel structure. And we do have three different types of the panel style. For example, we have this one, which is the American panel, which we do have different thickness of 40 milliliter or 50 milliliter. For example, this is a 51. Let me take one off for the thin one. Actually, yeah. And you guys can see the difference of the setting, for example like this. So for the American style panel, we do have two different thickness. One is 40 milliliter, another one is 50 milliliter. And you can see when we talk about the interface, it connects like this way. That's how we open and close when we use this type of the garage door panels. And it's and our door is automatically closing because for the safety system, it will automatically close. For example, if you are at home and you guys forget to close your garage door in some way, and it will automatically close after a while, maybe let's say 15 minutes or so. Let me open it again, the light would be a little bit better. So regarding the safety design of the garage door, I'll talk about them later as well. We have a lot of optional safety devices as well for they installing the different types of the garage door. And this is one type of our door panel. And besides of this one, like we just mentioned, this door is using the finger protection panels, which actually is, for example, this one. Then if we get close with the camera, we can see how does it look like differently. The interface of the head of the panels are differently designed. So the back side is like this. And if we connect them together, you guys will see the different connection of this one comparing with the American non-finger protection panels. So I'll open and close the front door, and you guys can see how does it look like, how does it work, affect as a finger protection style. So let's get in front, and I'll open and close the door, and you guys will see why it's called finger protection. Right. If I put my finger over here, you can see my finger don't get stuck in the gum because it's special design. And of course, it's a very important safety design as to we call it finger protection. But we understand all different areas, like for example, most European area, you request this kind of finger protection panel. But for North American area, we usually don't have customers request this one. They just want it to be regular, not as this type. So it's all up to your requirement. And what I want to mention is also about the middle of this year, like in June or July, we will have a new production line. By that time, we will have all different types, besides those regular American panel or finger protection panel, we have more coming out. And by that time, when we have new products coming out, you can have a look, and we will have new catalogs to show you what kind of options. Like for example, we have some our potential Mexican customers. You guys are requiring different types instead of this one. So there will be a lot more different panel style coming in the future next half year, and there will be a lot of more options. And besides the finger protection panel and the American panel, we do have our industrial door panels, which is a little bit more different. And if we look at the industrial door panels, you can see again the interface over here is a different design, and as well the back side over here is a different type in comparing with our regular finger protection one. You can have a look at the difference. So this is mainly used for our industrial doors, and you can see we also let's say add a bar over here for the, let's say, clash of two different panels to make sure it's more durable, and the seal between two different panels are more tight comparing with the other type. And another thing, if we look at the edge of the panel over here, you can see the 1 milliliter reinforcement bar. Yesterday when we were looking at the production line, I've already mentioned the guys usually were there. If we were doing the industrial door panels, they would be there and assembling this 1 milliliter reinforcement bars over there. And what is this for? We can imagine there are a lot of hinges and different accessories, hardwares in between, when we assemble them together. So this kind of reinforcement bar is for you when we let's say install all the hinges and the panels with the hinges and the hardwares together, it would be more like, let's say, it would be stronger and more durable for the future use. So this is mainly 3 different types of our panels for now, like the insulated panels. 2 different thickness for the American panel, 1 finger protection panel, and 1 of the industrial panel. And for the embossing, like yesterday we already mentioned about, we have the flat one, we have the orange skin, and we have the wood grain. And for the designs, we have even more. Like for example, like for the industrial panel, we usually use the universal line with the different lines. And let me get you the catalog, and you might discover more of the different designs. And you can always request from our coworkers, and you will see from the catalog different types of the panel design, like for example the classic block and the universal line, 2 lines, top 1 line, middle, rib line, microwave line, flat, or optional windows. And these are the regular of the panel designs we usually have. For example, like this one is the microwave line. Yesterday we also saw in another showroom with the full and assembled ones, and you can see if we can. Does it show from the camera, Maggie?
Yeah,
we
sure.
show the wave. Yes, and it's quite popular recently for a lot of customers all over the world. They request this type of the microwave lines. And this is part of the design, the panel style, and embossing. Of course, you would request different colors as well. Let's take to the other side, and we might see a little bit of the examples of the colors. Like these are the plain colors, for example, the white, which is the most regular one. If you only considering about the cost, like let's say to keep it as lowest, then white color is the most popular choice as the price-wise. Because of the painting cost, then the price would be a bit lower than other colors. And we have a popular silver, which a lot of industrial area, they would choose this color as well. And we have the gray color, which yesterday we also showed one of the surface as a sand surface gray, 7016. It would look quite like a professional in like an industrial area with this kind of color and pretty. And as I mentioned yesterday as well, sand surface is not only for the gray, we can also make it with, for example, the white color. And if I make a little bit of move of the panel, you can see the shimmy part of the surface. So of course you can tell us what kind of color you want to make this kind of surface, and of course it would be like a flat. There will not be embossing like orange skin also. So in that way we will request the thickness of the material as the thicker one, which is 0.45. And there are quite a lot of like customized colors, like the red one, for example. And it's not like a very regular, but for some like firefighter, let's say like a warehouse, they would request red as a specific color. Of course, universally it is used as that way. And we do have some, like for example, customers from South America, they requested the material of the PVC. This is a PVC top material, as I show you here, and it already have a little bit of like texture, like instead of embossing. We would have this one on top of the steel, so the finished steel would be like this. And for this type, we also use the surface as 0.45 instead of the thin one, because we need the strength on the top, so it would be looking like this. But what I'm trying to say here is all up to your choice. What kind of a material is more suitable to your market, then we can make it accordingly. And here are some like regular wooden colors. This is only a small part of those, like the Italy, the coffee, light oak, and walnut. And we have like a regular golden oak as well. We have the teak color, which is between these two colors, like the tint. So these are the colors, designs, and the panel styles which we usually have. And if you are talking about customized, like those special ones, as I said, always talk to us, like Maggie, me, and our team over here, and we can always discuss how to meet your requirement in your market. And besides all the panel designs, as we talked earlier, this door is the torsion spring and with the double track of European style. If we get closer to the other side, we will see the structures over here. And this is the most like popular and regular design, like with the accessory setting, what we are looking. These are the double torsion spring with the track connected to the motor and with the remote controls and the double track of the moving systems. And by the side, we also set the L frame as well to assemble the track on the wall, and with the hinges and the rollers and of course the seals. And some of the customers would like, if you are not so familiar with this system, you might ask like, and do I get just the panels? What do I get if I purchase the door from you? Of course, you have all different kind of options. You can buy just a panel and cut it by yourself. As we mentioned yesterday, we have the length maximum as 11.8. We have a lot of distributor customers. They just buy the panels and they cut it accordingly, like regarding their market, because you guys might have all different types of the opening size in your area. Or you can get the full set of the like the doors, like what we are having over here, with the whole accessories which is available for you to install at your place, and also the motor is optional. And as well, if we're talking about when we mentioned about the accessories, we were saying, okay, we have different panels, we have different setting of the hardware. So what's the difference? Why is it different? And what we are choosing them for? Like for example, we just mentioned we have the American panels, we have the finger protection panels. So in order to connect the different panels, we would have different type of the hinges. For example, this is the like a hinge for the American style panels, non-finger protection panels. But as if we're talking about the finger protection panel, which we saw over here, then then it would be different. So what I'm trying to say is, we have a full set of the solution for different types of your requirement, and we will have a full set of like 100% accessories, hardwares for you to install your door. And we have the video. Some of you guys might not have the, let's say, experience install such kind of equipment. Then we will have the, let's say, instruction, and we will have the videos for you to know what you need to do to assemble all this stuff together. And for if we talk about, let's say, the accessories, we also have like the options. For example, let me take one as an example. This one is a spring brake device, which means if you guys are, let's say, familiar with the spring type, which have the strength to roll up the doors, go up and down for this kind of mechanical system, then you might concern like what would happen if this let's say spring break after years of the use. Then we have this type of the spring brake device to make sure even if it gets broken, it doesn't get like explode. It doesn't hurt, explode to hurt anybody. But if, like for example, we have like the regular type of the brake like this one, so this is also type of the choice, like what type of the accessories you are requiring. Like for example, this is a button bracket like this one. This is a regular, and I don't have the cable brake ones over here, I think, but we do have this as a, oh, maybe it's in this one. So do we have, by the way, this is a drum which we roll the, let's say, the cable on that. And why this drum like kind of looking differently, it's like a plate, because it's for different type of the lifting. Some of our industrial door, we have the vertical lift, and we would have the like, let's say, the high lift, which like lift a certain like vertically and then horizontally. Then we would have different kind of the drum to pulling the cables. And, okay. If I can find a regular one. Maybe this is for the industrial door,
yes.
And it's for the cable brake, right?
Yeah.
But the regular one would not be like such big. It would be smaller, huh?
Yeah, sure.
So this is like let's say, let me open it and you can see the details. Oh, this is so heavy. So for the industrial door, usually for your warehouse or for your factory, like production places, the door would be much bigger than what we are looking at here. This one is, let's say, 2150 height and let's say 2500 width. So if for the industrial like area, it might be double or triple of the sizes. Then we would have different types of accessories, and it might be much bigger. Of course, it needs to be like holding much higher weight. And for the things like, let's say, for example, this one is for the industrial doors, and which is for the like let's say cable brake system. So even the cable which lifting the rolls like a brake in the middle way, it can be protected by this kind of the device, and to make sure it doesn't hurt anybody and it doesn't like drop like suddenly, which is very important as such kind of heavy equipment. We needed to make sure one part like which is safety. So I'm not going to talk into like everything, like all the different devices and all the different hardwares. What I'm trying to say is we do have options, like whether you are concerned about safety or you are talking about different sizes, different panels, we have solutions. We always say, chiffon door, we have like possible solutions for you. Always talk to us, tell us your requirement. And by the way, but behind me, these are the examples for the aluminum shutter slots, and we have all different types. And we are not going to talk into them like too much today. We do have like, for example, 42 milliliter and 55, 77 milliliter of the aluminum shutter slots. And we will go to the production scene one day and see how and where we make those slots. And we do have like the steel ones, which is 95 milliliter for the big size of the rolling doors. Maybe we can get a little bit this side and just have a peek over here. These are the rolling shutter window, which we make one of our main products over here. And this is one of the sample which we installed just to show you guys. But I'm not going to talk too much into it. And the left side over here, this actually is the rolling shutter door, and also one of our assembled sample. This is one of our main product as well. So later on we will go to the production scene to see all these different types of the product. And let me get into the front. And talk a little bit more about our main product, which is the garage door over here. As we talked earlier, we have a different type of the designs and different type of the let's say panel style, and I do have some of the questions usually asked by our customers which I will talk a little bit now. For example, one type, let's say we just mentioned is the safety. Safety wise, we have already showed you guys some of the device, but usually you would also ask what else do you have. Like for example, here we have the photo cells, which I haven't connected with the electricity for now, but usually if you have a requirement of the photo cell, we do have this type of the setting optional, and we have the light alarm optional as well if you want something like this. And some of you guys might concern if this door, for example, closed, and if I'm standing here but this photo cell is not assembled, then what would be happening? Is that going to be safe or not? Let me show you one thing. If I'm over here and the door is closing, as my weight is not that heavy, but you see the door still would like rebound back to the outside, like it's a regular setting of the like let's say mechanical system over here. This is one part which is guaranteed. And for the other side, like for example the photo cell and extra, this is all optional for you. Yes, of course, safety first. And then another thing I always get asked from our customer is, can you make like a special design? For example, I want some vision windows on the top, or I want a door because I want just to ride a bicycle in, but I don't want to open the whole thing. Yes, of course, this is also optional. And there's another special type of the like design I want to show you, which is you guys might have noticed earlier when Maggie were having the video like earlier. This one, what does this looking like? A cat? A puppy? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is we do have special kind of design, even like considering about your pets, like your little cat or the doggy at your home. So we left a small door for them as well. Of course, it can be customized as different style and as different type of size. Yep. And as to the windows and the different type of the designs, and I can show you some of the pictures as well. And if we look at the catalog for this page, you'll see all different types of the windows, which is optional for you to choose. Of course, some of these types would be like have MOQ, and you can always talk to us, like see what kind of like let's say results we can meet like regarding your requirement. So what I'm trying to say is just talk to us, see what you need, and we get to the solution. And for some of the distributor customers, you might also ask like how many of the doors can be taken in one container. For this type of the door, let's say for example this size which I mentioned, which is 2500 like times 2150, it can be like fit like around 70 sets in a 20-inch container and around 150 sets in a 40-inch container. But it's all regarding to the sizes you are ordering, because for different areas. You have different sizes, and of course you would have, like, let's say, different mix and match. Then we have to recalculate when you have an actual order. Then we see how many we can fit in one container, and this is another thing. Yeah, this is some of the questions we usually get asked. So basically, those are the main, let's say, information about our garage doors. And later we might have opportunity to get to the other different production scene to see different products, like our roller shutter door, our fast speed door, PVC or aluminum extra. Maggie, are we going to some places else today, or we are just talking about garage door today? Are we going to the other production places?
Just finish it today.
Okay, so let me take a little bit of rest today. Maggie is giving me off today, so today we are just talking about the garage doors, and of course you might have a lot of questions still. Contact us, send us messages, emails, and we will give you the solutions. And see you next time. Bye bye.